sending me an email or a text or however people contact people now, and said, you know, it'd be a good idea to name the bike path after Andrew. So you know, sometimes in government things are hard to do. This was easy. I called it's a county road, so I called the county. They said, sure. I talked to the manager. He said, absolutely. He talked to DPW who makes signs, and they said, yes. We got the special projects coordinator. She was designing the sign right away, which actually Emily, in a way, really designed. You'll see in a second. And it just, everyone was excited about this project. So this is one of those times it was easy to be mayor, and it's rewarding to be mayor. I thought Evan might tell us, he started the ball rolling on this. I thought he'd go next.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. So a few words. My name is Evan Koblenz, my wife Charlotte over there. We live just up the road in Middlebush. We moved here 3 years ago. We never met Andrew. But I want to speak on behalf of everybody who is going to use the new bike lanes, pedestrian lanes. You wouldn't know by looking at me, but I'm a runner. And I've run a few marathons. And part of the reason I wanted to live around here was it's a great place to get outside, right? There's the canal, Colonial Park, the wonderful big sidewalks on DeMont and JFK. Charlotte and I are members of a club called Raritan Valley Road Runners, known as RVRR, largest running club in Central Jersey, and celebrated its 40th anniversary this year. Many of the members also enjoy cycling all over the area. We met Emily 2 years ago through Facebook. We were hiring an artist to work on a mural in our house. Turns out not only is she an amazing artist, but we had some common friends from Hillsborough school system and everything. One thing led to another, became friends with Chris and the family, and heard about Andrew's story. Anytime I've run or biked down Amwell, even with the lanes, felt a little bit unsafe, traffic whizzing by. I know how it feels to have a close call. Had a few close calls myself over the years. A friend of mine was hit by a car in Holland Park. Luckily he recovered. Andrew was not so lucky, but we know from spending time with Emily and Chris, seeing her post on social media, hearing about the Darien kit, that had we known Andrew, we would have liked him a lot, and he would have made excellent use of the new lanes, I'm sure. They made a hashtag, Be Like Andrew. No amount of honorary signs, tributes, fundraising, or any other goodwill can bring Andrew back. But when I'm out for a run or a bike ride, the way I pass time is look at the scenery, right? A lot of times you'll see a sign, the Joe Smith Memorial that, the Jane Doe honorary this, and you wonder about the people behind it. Making the bike lanes personal might also make people slow down and proceed just a little more carefully. And if that happens, if somebody else's loved one makes it home safely, because I happen to make a casual suggestion to the mayor one day, then we've succeeded in being like Andrew. Right. Finally, on behalf of all cyclists, pedestrians, and families, I urge all leaders in the town and county to think of a ceremony as a beginning, not an end. Memorials are great, but we all need to do better at enforcing safe driving around the region. If you're on foot or bike and try to cross Amwell or DeMont at New Brunswick, it's harrowing, right? Drivers need to slow down. Some drivers, not even police sometimes, don't even slow down and let pedestrians there. This has to change. Thank you, and please drive safely.
Well, first I would like to thank everyone that has helped us get to the last 7 years. From the moment of Andrew's accident, our support system flew to our sides. Some literally flew to our sides. Our parents, siblings, nieces, nephews, cousins, and the Sisterhood of the Traveling Toad. Ask will explain. They took care of us then, and they continue to care for us all the way to today. In addition, the Franklin community, our family has been honored to be part of so many amazing sectors, from schools to theater, soccer, baseball. They all came forward to let us know what Andrew meant to them. That being said, I think that one of the hardest parts of losing anyone is the fear that they could be forgotten. No matter how shattered our lives are, they return to some sort of normalcy. People move in and out of your life, the kids grow up, but where are the opportunities to share memories of him and keep him present in your life? In the immediate aftermath of losing Andrew, we talked about having a way to remember him. We are honored that we've been able to hold a blood drive in his honor each June for the last 6 years. The SGS theater community held a memorial for him, as well as honoring him by adding him to the memorial scholarship for Kevin Maskell every year through the Alumni Cabaret. The Franklin Baseball League put up a plaque in his honor. These are amazing things, but they occur once a year or in very specific places that not everyone has amount of contact with. That is one of the reasons that I'm so honored to have these bike lanes dedicated to Andrew's memory. Knowing that people will be reminded of him every time they pass the sign gives me amazing comfort. I hope that this will be an occasion for discussion of him and memories of him. In addition, as Evan said, knowing that these bike lanes are here, making it safer for everyone is amazing for me. I know that you can never know how many accidents you prevent, but if even one family doesn't have to go through what we've been through, I'm overjoyed. Lastly, I would like to thank Evan for having the idea, and Franklin Township and Somerset County for making it happen so fast. And last, of course, I want to thank Em and Kit and Dari, without whom I would not have been able to get through one day, much less 7 years. So.
I thought my speech was okay, and then I heard everybody else's. But that's all I got, so here we go. So I've been running over in my mind what I wanted to say for the past month, ever since we heard about this amazing nails down to one thing, and that is thank you. I want to say thank you to the person who originally went to the town council and spoke up about the need for bike lanes. I grew up right across the river and used to ride back and forth to my grandparents' house, and it was scary then, and it's a lot more trafficy now. So maybe they're even in this crowd, I don't know, but thank you. Thank you to the town and the county for acting on it. Thank you to the mayor and the council, everybody involved. We can never know what would have been, but I feel certain that those bike lanes are going to save lives, and it's a good thing, and we are very appreciative. I want to thank Evan for the idea and for approaching it so thoughtfully, and I'm grateful for you and Charlotte's friendship. So I'm glad we met over social media, and I'm sorry your room is not yet finished. So, it's coming. So, thank you to the mayor and everyone involved in the implementation of the idea. I know it's not just you, it's the town council, and it's people that work in the office, and it's the people that put the sign up, and all those people, and people that I even know, and we thank you. And thank you for all of you. This is where I'm going to lose it. I'm so grateful that you took the time to be here today. It truly means the world to us. I don't want to speak for other people, but I know it's so important to us. I can't fathom that it has been 7 years since we last saw Andrew and talked with him and joked with him and held him. And after the loss, we met a lot of people who are in similar situations, and there's a common theme among many of them, and that's that we don't want our special loved one to be forgotten. And so many of you here have kept Andrew alive in so many ways, and we are deeply, deeply appreciative. Sometimes grief is beautiful, and sometimes it can be noble, but more often than not, it's angry and helpless and ugly and inconsiderate and despair and terribly, terribly messy. Even at our worst moments, everyone here continues to show us grace, and thank you for that. At the funeral home, there was a poster for people to write down some memories and thoughts about Andrew, which of course we still have and treasure. One of Andrew's Sunday school teachers wrote something, and I would see it often, and it really struck a chord in me, and it still does. And she wrote, "Science and God agree, energy does not die. it transfers. I think about that a lot, and I completely agree with that. His energy is everywhere. It's here today. It's with you. Everybody who remembers him, or gives a card, or donates blood, or sings a song at the alumni cabaret, or mowed our lawn and planted flowers and scrubbed our floors and just were there in every way we could possibly conceive, and some we couldn't even have thought of. I just thank you all, and I'm going to echo what Chris said, because I wrote it too. It's like, my heart is right here. Chris, Kid, and Dari could have done it without you guys too. Thank you.
By the way, this is my wife, Lori. This is the first time she's acted as First Lady of the town. But what we have now is the unveiling of the sign. The signs have been the actual signs have been posted already. There's one across from the Metler House, and one that's facing this way. And then there's one at the other end. There's that new house on Amwell Road near Van Cleef. It's in front of that, facing that way. But this is what the signs are going to look like.
Oh my God.
Maybe we could. So this was taken off of the web page. You designed that art. Do you want to explain the art?
I think everybody here probably knows what it is, but shortly after Andrew passed away, I was talking with some friends, and we were, kind of brainstorming ways that we could sort of carry things on and keep his memory alive. And one of my brilliant friends suggested that we do like a good deed, kind of pay it forward sort of thing, and that morphed into the Be Like Andrew cards. And if anybody wants any, somebody's got a box of them here. Please help yourself. So this is symbolic, just really quick. The panda is something with his dad, Chris, that is special. Of course, here's his arm sock. This was the shirt he wore a lot. And then the acorn he used to bring me an acorn every fall, beginning of school. And in the tree, there's hearts, and they're for Kid, Andrew, and Dari. So that's all about it. Thank you.
It's just a smaller version of the same thing for you to keep.
Thank you.
You can keep that one too.
Oh, okay.
The signs now are covered, and they'll be uncovered tomorrow. That's all we have. I really thank everyone for coming and taking this time to remember Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks, guys. All right. Oh, it's hot.
Gotta move a little bit.
Beagling? Yeah, actually we have two guest speakers at home right now. Oh, do you? Yeah. Do you still have? Yeah, go with it. Just one? Yeah. Okay, and then you have two guest beagles? Yeah. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Yes, they do. This is beautiful. This is nice. I figured you had to make Is he running this year? Okay, good. He's a good player.
The town made the sign.
Good to see you, Lori. Good to see you. Bye. Very nice.
sweat in my eye. Well, Franklin, this is PJ Parker, Franklin reporter and advocate. We, of course, are live here, having just participated with all of you in the ceremony to announce the naming of the bicycle lanes in Millstone in honor and in memory of Andrew Russoniello, who lost his life on his bicycle 5 minutes from his own home. 7 years ago, on August 29th, an amazing tribute today by Mayor Phil Kramer, his wife Lori, Chris and Emily Russoniello, who are Andrew's parents, his sister and brother Darry and Kit. If we can speak with them in a few moments, we're more than happy to. Mayor Kramer will be our first speaker because he helped to orchestrate and make this all a reality. Mayor Kramer.
Well, it's just kind of an honor to do it. It was, it's almost one of those things you say, why didn't I think of that? And it's been heartwarming to see how much staff and the county and other people just said, yes, how can I help? Sometimes in government it's a struggle. This was just a pleasure. But this is about Andrew, not about government. And he's quite a loss to us, and I'm glad we can remember him in this way.
Well, for all the suffering that the community obviously shared, to the degree that Andrew was such a part of the community, especially on the theater level, an active participant, as was his mom, in the Villagers Theater, that he made his presence and his personality so well known that he endeared himself to the community. And in an innocent act of riding his bicycle, lost his life. So if we could, Emily Russoniello. Yes, I know you are, Mayor Kramer. And Franklin, you of course know Emily and Chris Russoniello. And the fact that we have this celebration of the commemoration of your son is extraordinary, heartfelt, and the community is here in a small capacity, but out there watching what's going on. Both of your speeches, I'm not going to go there, right? Just extraordinary. Andrew was just such a beacon for a little boy, the wisdom that he portrayed.
I have to agree with that. He was, I guess everyone tends to glorify their own children, but he was truly special, and he loved everybody, and that's what we want to share. He was just full of love and joy and fun and talent. So.
And the Be Like Andrew theme, what exactly do you want people to take from that and actually be?
There's so much discord and divisiveness in the world, and we're just really having a moment where people are not getting along. But I'm telling you that there are people from all walks, all stripes, all everything here, and they've embraced us and we embrace them, and it's possible. And then that's really where I think just be kind to people, show grace and care for others. It's basically
just the very basics of who we inherently are as humans.
One of the stories that I really resonated with me is during his memorial, a student told a story about him, and he was a very popular child, obviously, and something happened with this child and she fell down or she was embarrassed and she looked up and Andrew was making a fool of himself kind of on the other side of the hallway to draw attention away from her so that she wouldn't be embarrassed, and that's just how he was. Like, I remember when I coached him in baseball, he was as happy to watch somebody else hit the ball or get on base, especially kids who didn't always get hits. He was as happy to that as he would to make a double play or whatever. That's where his happiness was for everybody, being successful and being happy.
Well, I attended your service for Andrew, And Franklin, the line that extended out of Gleason Funeral Home went through the parking lot and down an entire block of people who wanted to be there for the Russoniello family. And I serendipitously was standing with a young lady who was one of the EMT techs, and another mother of a child who was one of Andrew's dear friends. And this young girl was embarrassed that she was there, that somehow she might be intrusive on this grieving. And the other mother and I tried to assure her that she was an instrumental part in trying to make a difference, in trying to save Andrew. It was not meant to be. And I remember thinking that when she and Emily would see each other inside that funeral parlor, and I will tell you, Franklin, it's a scene I will never, ever forget. I can't even describe what that was all about. The depth of grievance, the depth of caring, the depth of we tried, the depth of we love him.
So did. They tried. I mean, I have nothing but positive things to say about the care that was shown, and I mean, you can only do so much, but they did everything they could, and probably more than that too.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that, you know, we also had some of the nurses from the pediatrics come, and just, I don't know how, just knowing him, even though he never was conscious, knowing him affected them so much that they wanted to come. And I remember one woman saying to me, we lose children a lot, and I don't usually go to the services for those children, but I felt like I had to be here for him. But that's wow, that's powerful.
Exactly, and I think that's the optimal word right now, that for a young boy being innocently about on his bicycle, not 2 minutes from his own home, the impact that he has left in this community from everything he lived right up until that moment, and his legacy right now in Franklin Township. Whenever you drive down this roadway on Amwell Road and you see those lanes that are dedicated to bicycling, pause, think of Andrew. Be like Andrew, because somewhere along the line, these bike lanes, I have to say, as we talked a few minutes ago, there was a reason these bike lanes happened, and the reason ultimately is to honor and remember Andrew Russoniello. So we thank you both for your dedication to this community, for raising the little boy that so many people feel so close to, and honor Andrew, folks. This is PJ Parker, Frank.